for today, Tuesday, November 22nd. Bobby, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would someone like to make a motion to adopt our agenda?
I'll make the motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll second.
Everyone in favor of adopting the agenda?
Aye.
Motion carries. Oops, everyone who is not? I think I heard you all say aye.
Everybody said aye.
Has everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes? Does anyone have any comments?
Nope.
Someone want to make a,
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second.
everyone in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Everyone not? Motion carries. Public comment period for items not on the agenda. Do we have any public comments? Okay. Now we have a public hearing for I forgot my public hearing cheat sheet. You'll have to forgive me if I mess up the order of things. For a preliminary plat request by William T. Elder for a 5-lot, do you have a cheat sheet? Okay. For a 5-lot residential subdivision on 5.471 acres located at 0 Gun Street, Waynesboro, Virginia, tax map numbers 59-3-10, lots 32, 24, and 59-3-9, lots 15-24.
Good evening. Yes, this is for a 5-lot preliminary major subdivision plat referred to as Waynesboro Heights. This property is located on the eastern side of the city, just east of Delphine on 11th Street and Elkin Circle. It's the land sort of behind where those two streets currently end. The property is 5.471 acres. Right now it's mostly wooded. It is zoned RS7, and the comp plan has it designated as medium density residential. The property also contains some internal right-of-ways that are outlined there that the city has been in the process of vacating with the applicant. City Council approved the vacation at their October 28th meeting, and we're working with the applicant to finalize those documents to vacate those right-of-ways. So this is a major subdivision preliminary plat. It's by right, meaning the city has no discretion to deny as long as the subdivision, as long as the applicant has satisfied the requirements of the subdivision and zoning ordinances. The plat does show 5 single-family residential lots, whose sizes range from about a ½ acre to 1.7 acres, which makes for about a density of 1 unit per acre. The plat also indicates 0.069 acres of right-of-way to be dedicated to the city, and this is because most of the right-of-way that would ordinarily be required has already been dedicated to the city through that existing right-of-way. So here is a look at the plat. You can see Elkin Circle is curving on around right here, and then 11th Street is coming up. And so what the plat is showing a short street that will be built and end in a cul-de-sac, and these 5 lots would then all be accessed off of that cul-de-sac that's being built. There's also a house located right here that is currently using that existing right-of-way as sort of a driveway for their house, and their access will be preserved with the street. There'll be curb cutouts for their driveway to ensure they maintain access through here. And then here's just a quick look at it, sort of overlaid over an aerial. Allows you to see the existing streets a little better and the houses here on either side. So the property is within the RS7 district, which is our single-family residential small lot, which allows for a maximum density of 6 units per acre and a minimum lot size of 7,000 square feet. With the plat showing 5 lots ranging in size from a ½ acre to 1.7 acres, it's definitely complying with the zoning ordinance. The plat also indicates that street trees will be provided along with a street light to be installed at the end of the cul-de-sac between lots 3 and 4, which would be in this area right here. As I mentioned, the subdivision will be accessed by that short road off of 11th Street that ends in the cul-de-sac, and the house that's currently using that right-of-way to access their property will be able to maintain that access. Underground utilities and any stormwater infrastructure will be reviewed and approved during the public improvement plan process through the Public Works Department, and there isn't a current lack of capacity for either water or sewer in the area. And so with that, after review and resubmittal based on staff comments, staff have concluded that the application conforms sufficiently with all the requirements of city code, and staff is therefore recommending approval. And ready for any questions you may have, and the applicant and their representatives are here as well.
Okay, do you guys have any questions?
I just had one. I'm looking at this now. It's like they're going to 5 lots here, right?
Yes.
And it originally zoned, you could probably put 27 lots in those 5 lots if it went that way?
Yeah, I think this current number of lots is,
32 or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So, I mean,
so
this is kind of a win for that neighborhood. They're not getting a bunch of homes, they're getting 5 lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like it, because I like to see, the bigger lots, and I'm glad that they're, only putting 5 homes there. It's nothing not to like.
That's all I had.
Does the applicant want to approach the podium? The applicant approaches the podium, and then we open the public hearing, right?
I think, yes, that's, you can do
Okay,
that.
okay. Does the applicant want to,
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for the consideration, and I would have put more houses there, but
we're good.
it is so steep up there that you need a dirt bike to get to the top of it. So this is the only thing that really makes sense for that area. And the other 2 previous owners haven't seen the vision, and I just appreciate the opportunity to endure mine. All right?
great. Thank you so
sir.
much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, now I'll open the public hearing. I'd like to open a public hearing for a preliminary plat requested by William T. Elder for a 5-lot residential subdivision on a 5.471 acres located at 0 Gun Street, Waynesboro, Virginia, tax map numbers 59-3-10 lots 32-24 and 59-3-9 lots 15-24.
We did not receive any written comments.
No phone calls
Okay,
or emails.
Close that public hearing.
all right, well, I'm going to close the public hearing. I think we're all in agreement that this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Great
larger
idea.
size lots. I commend the owner on not cramming as many as he could in there, and I'm familiar with the area, and he's right, it's billy goat territory, so to speak, but I think it's a win-win for the area.
Yeah, absolutely. I know about that area too. I'm fairly familiar with that. I think that's a good thing. To me, it's like one of those things that could possibly it's like more of an enhancement, so which is great. It certainly makes the whole setting.
And you said we received no comments from anybody, not even the owners of the, what is it, 4,000 acres behind them?
Yes, no, we did not receive any written comments. We maybe took a phone call or 2 just asking about the sign, but no one was concerned.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the preliminary plat request by William T. Elder for 5 lots residential subdivision on 5.471 acres located at 0 Gum Street, Waynesboro, Virginia, tax map number 59-3-10, lot 3 through 24, and lot 59, 3-9, and lots 15 through 24.
I'll second.
Okay.
everyone in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Get to building, that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
We have one other thing on the agenda. You guys don't have to stay for that, but we can take those.
Yeah, these are the new ones.
Okay.
You can stay, though, if you want. Sometimes it's exciting.
As you can tell by the crowds knocking at the door.
Thank y'all.
Okay, so the next thing is a review of the proposed location of a new public facility to be located at 200 and 220 Osage Lane. So just to give a little bit of background, the city has been in talks to purchase 2 parcels of land in the Lou DeWitt corridor to be used as the location for a second fire station. However, the city's approved comprehensive plan doesn't actually show any location for a new public facility in that corridor. And per Virginia State Code, when this is the case, the Planning Commission must confirm that the proposed location of the new public facility is in substantial accord with the comprehensive plan, which is why we're here talking about this tonight. This is that section of code, and I won't read it because it is long, but I wanted to point out the last sentence, which says that the Planning Commission will do this by looking at the general or approximate location, the character, and the extent of the new public facility when deciding whether or not it is in substantial accord with the comprehensive plan. And so the location of this new West End Fire Station is about midway down the Lou DeWitt corridor. It's 2 parcels. Officially addressed as Osage Lane, but they're fronting on Lou DeWitt and Shepherd Court. It is primarily a commercial area, and there are residential uses on the periphery. You got the Zeus Theater and Bottles and the bank to the north. You have some office and smaller shop buildings to the east and west. And then, of course, the Pratt's Run, Creekwood Village, Silver Creek subdivisions sort of wrapping around. It is zoned highway business, and the comprehensive plan designate this area as commercial and retail. These 2 parcels provide good access to the western parts of the city. The Lou DeWitt Boulevard provides connections to both West Main Street and Rosser Avenue, and both these roads are major routes through the city. The property, or the location, will also improve the response times to calls that are located in the western part of the city, and the fire department estimates that they'll meet their targeted response time goal of 5 minutes, 20 seconds, 90% of the time with the station located in this area. So the fire department uses the NFPA, which is the National Fire Protection Agency, which is a national standard, to determine the fire protection for the city. And the NFPA is the one who sets the minimum response time requirement of 5 minutes and 20 seconds. This includes a 1 minute, 20 second time for vehicle turnout from the time the call is received, and then 4 minutes of travel time. And for calls that the department receives that are located in the western part of the city, the department is currently only able to hit this targeted response time about 35% of the time. And the department estimates that this increased response time is only going to increase with Waynesboro's continued growth. However, the new station located on the western side will allow them to hit that targeted response time 90% of the time. It just reduces those distances. Additional needs that have been expressed is all the recent and also potentially future commercial and residential development in that area, both along the commercial corridors of Lou DeWitt and Rosser, but then also the residential corridors of Hopeman Parkway and Ivy Streets. They've established this need for the second station. The fire department also mentioned that the modern building materials and housing designs that have been found in houses built after 1970 causes houses to burn quite a bit faster, which makes the response time very important. In addition, the city's comprehensive plan also calls for additional residential development in the western part of the city, which also demonstrates that the need for the new fire station is not only an existing need, but also one that the comprehensive plan does support. The land use map, along with the future growth potential in that area of the city, both have been identified in the comprehensive plan. And so with that, staff is recommending that the Planning Commission confirms that the proposed location of the West End Fire Station is in substantial accordance with the comprehensive plan. And I'm also happy to answer any questions about that as well.
I've just got a question, Emily. So has the decision been made then to build?
Yeah, we've,
That has been,
do you mind if I?
Right.
No, what, we chose that lot. We had 5 lots that the people brought to us to choose from. We chose that because the intersection there already has a traffic signal. So that's not gonna cost any more money to fix that intersection. Another thing, that location there puts us within 5 minutes of just about everybody on this side of town, with the exception when you get out to North Oak Lane and out to Lawrence Transfer, it makes it a little bit longer there. But it's an ideal location for that. We've already we're in negotiation with the property owner. If we can get that rezoned through Planning Commission, or the special use for through Planning Commission, we're ready to make the purchase and start putting the firehouse up. Now, this was voted on 12 years ago.
It's a long time
Yeah,
ago.
12 years ago, and we're just now getting to where we are. The beautiful part about this is we've been planning as council for a new firehouse, and we've got money squirreled away so that this is not going to raise taxes on taxpayers in the city of Waynesboro to complete this job. So it's a great location. It's got the infrastructure in place that we could build it. The businesses around there all support the firehouse being there. Brett Hayes with his movie theater.
Yeah.
Right there at we're right there.
we don't want to lose that. We didn't have one for years.
Right. And the beautiful part of this is the NFPA sets the standards. The insurance industry goes by those standards. And by putting that firehouse there, we can make it so that our insurance on this side of town is more affordable for folks. It'll lower rates because it gives the response time for our fire department on this side of town.
Yeah, for some reason, I didn't realize that it had absolutely been approved. For some reason, I thought it was still kind of.
Now, we had a closed meeting about it, and the closed meeting was that we had picked the site, we picked the location, they'd given us everything on it. Now, we were told at the closed meeting, it has to come to Planning Commission for this. If you guys approve it tonight, we're gonna have a meeting on it Monday night and get it approved, because we wanna get this under contract.
And the way the state code is written with this substantial accord determination, so you're determining that the location, character, and extent is in substantial accord with the comprehensive plan. And then really, if you do that, council doesn't have to make any additional motion, we'll just take that to them. They do have the ability to overrule a planning commission decision if there was the determination that it wasn't. But really, if you make an affirmative substantial accord determination, we'll just let council know that, and it'll be no further action needed.
I only have one thing to ask about. I think it's great overall, especially that location is, because you can get to pretty much, like you said.
Anywhere, yeah.
Anywhere. But you could still probably get somewhere like North Oak Lane, maybe. I don't know if you can get there as fast from where the station is now.
That one's splitting hairs because
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
way the roads go.
Yeah.
So,
The question was having the way the city's growing, a lot of housing. I don't know what it's going to do to our school system. I'm thinking down the road. And, we're going to probably be running out of space for land and things suppose we would need another school, because the West End is really growing pretty substantially. Is that a place, I don't know if that would be I'm not sure if that would be good or not a good place for a school, but that's the only thing I would be thinking about. But otherwise, I think it's great.
I think Monday night, there's a presentation from Dr. Castle regarding school and school capacity. So, yes, this Monday's council
coming
meeting.
Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Come join us.
I will.
I don't think that is big enough, that particular parcel is near big enough a
okay.
footprint. I think they recommend like 20 to 50
Yeah, you
acres or
probably need-
something.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not even close to.
But there is, an upcoming presentation
Yeah.
on school capacity, and if anyone's interested, on Monday.
And plus, doesn't the city own the land off of Lyndhurst Road that the
Where the
road
park is?
runs through, the railroad track? don't the city own that too, Bobby? Because ain't that where they were gonna put the new high school until they determined that the renovation of the existing school was a better use of money?
Yeah, and
So-
right now, our schools are below capacity.
Yeah, we're not at capacity.
Well, I know now.
You bring a point with the new housing.
Yeah,
coming,
I'm
don't
just
know.
thinking, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
But
no. Okay.
my hope is that we get an affirmative vote on this tonight, because the fire department will benefit everybody in this city.
Well,
And it is in the capital improvement plan, the 2023 capital improvement plan.
now, does that that property take in the house that's for sale between, Lowe's and?
No, that.
Okay, that's.
It's the property directly across the street from the theater
Okay,
and in front of,
Frontier
Weaver
Bank.
Insurance.
Okay.
That big lot there,
Alright.
those two big lots there.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be enough for a school.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be enough.
no,
Not close to.
So,
Well, I'll make a motion. I'm good with it. Let's see, do I have to make the whole?
you gonna second that motion?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so everyone, we're going to vote that the proposed location of the firehouse confirms sufficiently with all requirements of the city code recommended, city code. So what you have,
So specifically, this one is a little different, not with city code, but that the location is
With
in
comprehensive
substantial
plan.
accord with your comprehensive
comprehensive plan,
plan.
I said the wrong thing, that it's within, it's within substantial, I mean sufficiently conforms to the comprehensive plan. Everyone in favor of that? Everyone not in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
You like that hammer, don't you?
I do, I do. I got like 2 years left of whacking it.
Yeah.
All right, we have a review of minor subdivisions and final subdivision plats approved since the October 18th, 2022 meeting.
And I just have one for you this month. This is for tax map number 23-7-G, which is located at 536 Alphen Lane, just north of West Main. And she had a lot that was about 3 acres, and she's splitting off a parcel containing the current residence, and then I believe going to do another single-family residence on the other parcel. But that was a subdivision that got approved just a couple days ago.
Great. Thank you.
And that's all I have on that.
Okay, do we have any other commissioners' correspondence and communication?
I'd just like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully won't nobody eat too much turkey.
All right.
We just have one thing as staff.
Sure.
At your previous meeting, kind of in relation to the Kira Heights plat, there was also a recommendation that I believe Ms. Lambert made the motion on, but related to some, having counsel, I think specifically was the term, review the debt and,
Yeah.
Why the stop signs had been removed and kind of speed and things. And so we wanted to let you know that we have not taken anything to council yet on that. Staff is kind of doing a deeper dive into past traffic studies, and we're going to bring back some information to you all first to kind of say, here's an update on what was done and where we're at with traffic numbers and speeds right now, before we take anything more formal to council. But I just wanted to let you all know that.
What is that about? I missed that.
There was just some concerns that with increased development, it would exacerbate an already existing issue that citizens feel like there's a speeding problem, kind of generally, but there was also the question of why stop signs had been removed along Vedette, and there was a traffic study completed, and I can't exactly remember the year, but it was determined that because the average daily trips on Vedette were so much more than on the side streets, people weren't abiding by the stop signs anyway. And so the recommendation from the traffic consultant engineers at the time were to place the stop signs on the side streets and have Vedette be more of a through street. So So I wanted to bring that information back, but also provide you all with some updated traffic numbers on those streets and speeds, and we'll do that, in the coming meeting at some point.
Is the traffic engineer the one that decides what kind of signage goes up on those streets?
So it's my understanding that the city worked with a consultant to specifically do a study, and that one of the recommendations they made was to remove the stop signs and to place them on the side streets. But that was based on the numbers at the time, and so my thought was just to kind of bring it back to you to say, this was the daily trip numbers back when that study was done, now they're this. The median speed was this, now it's this. Because really, I think the recommendation of just trying to have council look at it, there's really no funds for that to be studied again. So I just thought it would be best to provide you an update, and then we could talk more about maybe what an additional recommendation might be, if that makes sense.
I was curious, I've always been curious, why they put a regulatory sign that says stop at an intersection and a white regulatory sign underneath, except on right turns. It's like, that would be a yield sign where I come from. But down there at the end of the debt, when you turn
Okay.
off,
Yeah.
it's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That should be a yield sign, because you've got a regulatory sign that says stop, and then a regulatory sign below it, except for.
Okay,
And
yeah.
that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I live on the corner of Forest and Bader, and let me tell you, stop signs don't do any good. People run the Forest Drive. I like to be deputized. I don't sit there and watch it all day, but when I'm there, more than 50% of the cars going down Forest, they go right through the stop signs, and then about another, a little less, probably half, actually go through the Bader Avenue on the same corner. There's a four-way stop. Nobody stops. And there's people who have said, there wasn't a stop there, sign there. I've never had to stop there. I'm not going to stop. People just don't.
They don't pay attention.
And the police have tried to set, I sat one time, Brian Edwards sat there on Bader one day, and I lived right there on the corner, and we were talking. I said, I'm so glad to see you here. But the thing is, you can almost see the police cars no matter where they sit. And when the police cars are there, people tend to stop. But otherwise, people just disregard. They just, I mean, if they even came to a rolling stop, they go through some of those signs at between 30 and 40 miles an hour sometimes. And there's kids that have, walked to school, because Westwood, is right down a couple blocks down. And I'll tell you, so that putting stop signs is not going to slow traffic. I mean, people just disregard. And the police can't sit there all day,
No.
unfortunately. But anyway. it's just
All right,
a comment.
I know what you're waiting for. I make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Everyone in favor of adjourning?
All right.
Good.
She had that look.